So do you have braces and are wondering, what can I do to get this journey over with quicker? So in today's episode, we're going to talk about 5 tips and tricks that you can do from home to make sure that your braces journey goes as smoothly and quickly as possible. Let's go. What's up guys, Dr. Greg here, back with another episode of Braces Explained. Happy belated Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all had a fantastic Thanksgiving and really took time to appreciate the things that we take for granted every day in life. So I'm a huge fan of Thanksgiving. I always love giving thanks and expressing gratitude. And on that note, I'm so grateful for you guys. So thank you so much for being a subscriber on this channel. And if you aren't a subscriber yet, go down there and give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with more content like this. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about 5 tips and tricks that you can do along your braces journey to make sure that your journey is as smooth as possible and to finish your treatment as quickly as possible. I'm going to put the timestamps out in this corner so you can jump ahead wherever you want in the video. But a lot of these things you might already know, but I'm going to explain why these things will make your treatment go by quicker and smoother. The first thing that I recommend to make sure that this journey goes super smoothly and quickly is to listen to what your orthodontist requests you to do. So this is things like wearing your rubber bands, if you have a headgear or a face mask or things like that. Follow the advice of your orthodontist because he and she want the best for you. And if you listen to the advice that they give you, your treatment will go by as quick as possible. That is probably the biggest piece of advice I could give you. When you don't wear your rubber bands or you wear them inconsistently, what happens is you don't achieve that result. I said this in one of my first videos, but if you wear your rubber bands only sometimes, but your orthodontist wants you to wear it 24/7, it's going to be like pushing a ball halfway up a hill. You'll get up there and it'll be a lot of work to get the ball halfway up the hill, and then it's going to roll right back down and you're going to lose all the progress that you worked so hard for. So please follow their instructions. If they ask for 24/7 wear, please give them 24/7 wear. This is probably the biggest trick to make sure that your treatment goes by as quickly as possible. And you might be thinking, oh my God, but the rubber bands hurt. I guarantee you, if you're consistent with your elastic wear, they should not hurt at all. It might be a little bit uncomfortable, just like a regular braces adjustment, but if you're consistent with your elastic wear, it's gonna go really, really smoothly for you. Which brings me to the second point about listening to what your orthodontist recommends. Please avoid the foods and drinks that your orthodontist asks you not to eat or drink. This is because it can cause 3 different things. And I've made a video about foods and drinks to avoid, so I'm gonna link that out here as well as in the description of today's video. But the 3 things that could be caused by not listening to your orthodontist's advice about food is that 1, it could break your brackets, 2, it can bend your wire, or 3, it can increase your risk of cavities. So let's go through those. So let's go to 1. If you have a broken bracket, that means that that tooth is receiving no force at all. So if you have all these broken brackets and your teeth are not going to move because the wire that's supposed to be moving those teeth is not going to be moving those teeth. It's not attached to the teeth. So you really want to avoid eating foods that are hard or crunchy that will shear these braces off of your teeth. On the same note, if you're eating foods that are hard and crunchy and things like that, not only may you break a bracket, but you can also bend or distort your wire, which could be even worse. Because if you break a bracket off a tooth, well, that tooth just won't receive any force. But if you bend the wire or distort the wire, now you can be getting forces in the wrong direction, which can make your treatment last longer, have unwanted side effects, and all these things are going to make it so that you have an unpleasant experience. And the third thing that could be caused by eating those foods that your orthodontist recommends that you don't is that you can have an increased chance of cavities. Because if you're eating foods that are sticky and they're staying around the braces and all this plaque is developing on there, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have an increased chance of cavities. And when you have an increased chance of cavities, you're going to have to go and get those filled. It's going to increase your treatment length. It's also going to make it so that you have a really hard time maintaining good hygiene, which is the third thing that you can do to make sure that your treatment goes as smoothly as possible. And that is maintaining excellent hygiene. I've made videos about how to brush with braces, how to floss with braces, how to use a water pick with braces. These are really, really important. The research actually shows that for every visit that you have a poor oral hygiene rating by your orthodontist, your treatment's going to last 1 month longer. So if you can imagine, 3 visits of bad hygiene is 3 more months in braces that you don't have to be in braces. So on top of avoiding the foods and drinks that you should be avoiding, you should also be doing a really good job about making sure that your teeth are really clean. I recently got a brand new toothbrush and I freaking love this thing. It's called the Crest IO toothbrush. And I'm going to put a link in the description of today's video. But it's something I recently got, and I'm actually going to be doing a dedicated video on that if you guys are interested. But it is a fantastic brush. It does such a fantastic job. I thought I was doing a good job with brushing until I started using this brush. and it has gyros in it that tell you where you've missed, if you're doing too much force, if you're doing not enough force. So definitely check out the brush. It's a little bit pricey, but I think it's totally worth it, because if you can imagine, if it prevents just one cavity, it'll pay for itself. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think of this brush. When you have poor oral hygiene, it makes it so that your teeth can't move as easily. It makes it so that they get bound up. It's swollen. You have blood, gum disease. All these things are bad things, and they increase your risk for cavities. And if you have a cavity, we might have to slow down your treatment and send you to your general dentist to have it filled. And this could become a disaster and make it so your treatment is, one, not only longer, but makes it so that you have to have all these fillings when you're done with your treatment, which is not favorable. So on that note is our fourth thing that you could do to make sure that your treatment goes as smoothly and quickly as possible. And that is to maintain regular visits with your general dentist and your hygienist. Everyone's recall is a little bit different, but most of the time you don't want to go over 6 months without seeing your general dentist through your braces journey. This is because they can monitor and see if you have any early cavities developing, or if there's plaque or bacteria that your hygienist can help remove. Because if you can imagine, if this tartar forms and holds your teeth together, it's really hard to move the teeth that are stuck together. So you really want to make sure that you're going to these regular dentist appointments to make sure that your teeth are clean and healthy, so that your orthodontist can move them as quickly as possible. And on that note of seeing your dentist regularly is, you want to make sure that you see your orthodontist regularly. You want to make sure that you make it to your appointments and show up on time. Because if you miss appointments, well, your treatment's not going to progress. Your orthodontist recommends, a certain time frame of when they want to see you back. And that's around the point where your orthodontist will either want to change the wire or change the power chains, things like that. So if you miss appointments for a prolonged period of time, well, your treatment may be slowed down. And your orthodontist might be able to pick up for that time, but at the same time, they might not be able to pick up for that time. I just had a patient the other day that didn't show up for like 4 months, and he wore his rubber bands really, really well, but he overcorrected it. And that is possible if you're not seeing your orthodontist regularly. He made it so that now we have to go the other way with the rubber band. So you know what? You have to really be diligent about showing up to your orthodontic appointments, and you also want to show up on time. Because let's say your orthodontist scheduled you for an hour-long appointment, right? And you show up 40 minutes late. Well, their schedule is made in such a way that they can't really fall behind. So they're not going to be able to accomplish that hour's worth of work. So now they're going to have to push that appointment back another month. Even though you showed up late and they weren't able to achieve what they wanted to get done. So show up to your orthodontist appointments and make sure you show up on time, please. This will make it so that your treatment moves along in a steady rate and at a healthy rate for your teeth and gums. So those are my 5 tips of advice that I recommend that you follow if you want to get your braces off as quickly as possible. If you have any other ideas that I forgot to mention, let me know in the comments of today's video so that other people can learn from your advice. If you haven't already joined the Braces Club, I'm going to have a link in the description of today's video, so go down there and make sure you join this online community that's growing really, really quickly. While you're down there, make sure you go and hit the thumbs up as well as the subscribe button with the little bell so you can stay up to date with more content like this. But that is all I have for you guys today. Again, happy Thanksgiving, and I will catch you guys this upcoming Wednesday on a YouTube Live, or the following Saturday on another episode of Braces Explained. But for now, Dr. Greg out.